Hi guys, this is a video about the CELCIUS AKM expert solutions. When you buy the expert solutions, the MOSFET, motor and ECU is not included. So you may need to watch this video in order to see the steps on how to install the electronics. First of all, you can either remove the stock adapter first or remove the cover. Okay, and then if the adapter is tight, you need to use a hammer like this. Please make sure that you have a rubber hammer like this, and then tap it a bit lightly, and then it can be removed easily. And then you need to remove the spring like so. And because the ECU is inside the gearbox, you will need to remove the cylinder. And this is very important. When you remove the cylinder, you will need to pay a close attention on the bolt stop mechanism here. You need to press it up first. So use your finger to press down this mechanism here. Okay, I'm sorry, but you really need to use this finger because the other finger has to be used to hold the other things, like so, okay? Press it up, make sure that you hold that mechanism, and then press the nozzle this way, and then you can remove the cylinder easily. Okay, and then this is very important. The spring here is very important that you need to pay attention on how to install this spring. Okay, you probably can see it now. This spring is very important for this mechanism to work. Okay, now this will go up when the magazine is empty, and this will cut off the electronics so the gun won't fire. And then when you cock the gun, this goes down, and then the handle here will press the button on the ECU. Okay, so make sure that this spring is installed properly. Now the next step is about the ECU. As you know, we have the iECU, the ECU with Bluetooth, where you can connect your ECU with computer for analysis to check if the MOSFET is fine or if the motor is fine. So this is it's a very smart ECU. And then there is another ECU. This is the Japanese version. And then we have the dynamic ECU. And why I want to talk about this ECU, it's because these two is similar. Because of the Bluetooth here, the design are similar, and we have more parts here compared to the Japanese version. And because we have more components here, that's why the button here, if you compare these two, this button is smaller and it's also shorter. So if you want to use the CELCIUS ECU, you can just install it easily. You can install it directly to the gearbox without changing the trigger. But if you want to use this Japanese version, because this button is higher, then you will need to change the trigger with a shorter version. Okay, this trigger should be included with the package. It depends on the dealer. But if not included with the package, you can buy it from the dealers or from our website also. In order to replace the trigger, now I'm going to show you how to remove the gearbox. And this is the second thing that is also important. When you remove the selector, before you remove the selector, please take a look on how this mechanism works. Now, this is semi. This is the position for semi. And then fully auto. So it's just a little move here. Because when you see from this side, it looks like a big move. But if you think closely from this area here, actually the move is really small. So it's just a really small degree on how the selector moves. Now, when you want to remove the selector, you need to pull this all the way to this way, and then you can pull the selector and then go down and remove the main selector. Okay, so this right gear here has to go all the way to the back. Now it's safe to remove the gearbox. First, you can either remove these two screws first or remove the spring that holds these 3 pins all together. There's a spring like this. Inside the receiver that holds the pin, these 3 pins. Now, this one is on the top of this pin, and this one is on the bottom of this pin, and this one is on top. So it's going from here, down here, and go up here. Okay, so what you need to do is to press this area. Somewhere here, you press it down, and then you can remove the second pin. So first, you need to remove the second pin. Now be careful with this wire. Please put it aside gently. And then press down this spring. Press it down, and then press the pin. And then you can remove the spring that holds these 3 pins together. Now remove the screw. Once you remove these 2 screws, you can remove the first pin easily. And then the gearbox can be removed easily. Now to remove this trigger, it's super easy. Just unhook this spring. And pull. Like so. Okay, now let's try to reinstall it. First, put the spring here. So on the third hole, and then put the trigger, and then install the pin. I think there's some dirt inside. Let's check. Okay, I just cleaned some dirt inside. Okay, now let's try to install it again. Put the trigger. Install the pin. Like so, and then put the spring back in there. Now it's smooth enough. Some oil. Reinstall the gearbox. So when you install the gearbox, oh yeah, one more thing that I need to explain to you is the selector here. So when the selector moves all the way here, this is semi. For fully auto, two buttons are pressed together. And then when you install the selector, it goes all the way back here. So this is how you install it. You go this way and then slide it forward. And you need to use your finger here to guide it. And once it goes from this angle, this 90-degree angle, it will move easily. Okay, now let's install the gearbox. So the gearbox go this way, and then you move it forward. This is how you remove it. This is how you install it. And then make sure that the gearbox is aligned. It's right in the middle of the receiver. And then install the first pin. Check alignment. Okay, and then install the screws. just have to put this wire aside so I don't make mistake and break the wire, okay? And then the spring. So this one goes behind here. And then this one goes down, press down, and then release it. You can ignore the third pin first. Just think about these two pins first. And then ready to install this one. Put it somewhere near here and then press down. Now you see I have to show you from the side, so if I do it from the top it should be easy, and I just want to show you how it works. So I want to do it from the other direction. From here you will see the spring here, and then when you press from the top, this spring will goes down, and then you can install this pin. Okay, I think it's difficult to do it from the side, so I just gonna do it from here. Press down, install the spring, and then release. And then once you're done with these two pins, now put the spring into the groove on the third spring, or the the third pin or the trigger pin. Just put it like that, and then put this inside. Make sure that this is inside, because otherwise you won't be able to install the cylinder. Like so. Okay. Now let's move on to installing the adapter. So this is the real steel adapter, and to remove it you can just do it like this. It's the same, just like the M4 version. Okay, and later the MOSFET goes here inside the tube. The MOSFET will be installed this way, okay, inside. Now I'm going to show you about how to install the adapter. First, you need to make sure that you cover the metal here, this trunnion, because you will need to install the MOSFET here. So just to be safe, it's better to cover it with a tape or this kind of heat shrink tube. So just put it here like this. And then heat it up. And then the second thing is that I have to put it this way. The stock will not go all the way, okay? Because the good things about this design is that when you install this trunnion, you have the stock height exactly just like the wood stock, okay? If the stock is a little bit high, it's not good. First, you need to put your cheek on the stock in order to align your eyes with the sides. And the height of this stock is really similar to the wood stock. That's why we choose to use this manufacturer. Now, because of that, the stock will have to stop in around this area. So you will not screw this all the way inside. It should be somewhere in here, unless you cut this trunnion. So, and the second thing is that you need to protect the wire with tube like this, because once you install the wire and everything, you may scratch the skin and short circuit may happen. Just be careful with this. I'm not gonna install the MOSFET in this video. So basically you just put all the wire into that hole over there, and then once you're done, the MOSFET is here, and install the adapter, install the screw, and then install the tube. Now, how to install this adapter is that there is no thread here, but the good things about this design is that there's some grip here. So you do not need 2 screws in order to hold the stock adapter. And the second thing is that to screw the metal to aluminum is not as strong as if to screw the metal to metal. This is steel, sorry, steel to steel is better than steel to aluminum, and this is stronger. But there's nothing to hold this bolt here. So what you need to do is to put the bolt here first, and then use a sponge like this to hold it. Okay, once again, put the bolt here, install the sponge like this, so it will hold the bolt, because you're gonna install it like this, so it won't fall. And then when you're done, you can push this sponge out from the hole here. So this is how they design this adapter. It's pretty good, and in a real gun it's easier because you can remove it from here, but with the training weapon you will need to remove it from the bottom here. Okay, so let's try that. Install, and if it's tight, just use a hammer. Just hammer it a bit. And then install the screw. You see, it's actually really tight. And then remove the sponge, press, and then you can take it out from here. Like so. And then install the stock like how you install it to the M41. Do this gently, and once the stock touches the trunnion, you have to stop. Now, It's already touched running, so you have to reverse. And that's it. Nice. And then tighten it, just like how you do it on the M4A1. Now, to install the ECU, the selector wire will go from the right, and the control wire from the MOSFET goes from the left. So this is for the selector, and this is for the control wire. And then install it, and make sure that after you install it, make sure that this wire is on the side and inside, because when it's sticking out like that and then you install the cylinder, you will break the wire. So please be careful with that. And then make sure that this is all the way back here, and install the selector like so, and then guide it a bit with your finger until it goes 90 degrees, and then you can move it this way. And if you pull this a bit, you will hear the click. First click on semi is the right gear is pressing one button, and then when you move it to the auto, you will hear another click. So this is both buttons are pressed all together, and then this is safe. So just the rear button is pressed. Okay, so let's reinstall the cylinder. Make sure that this spring again is installed properly, and then use your finger to hold, just to be sure. Normally the magnet will hold this handle by itself. Just to be sure, to be safe, it's better if you use your finger like this, and then install it like that. Make sure that the nozzle can move freely. Like so. And then install the screw. Not too tight, because you want to install the second one. Once two screws are installed, and then tighten it one by one. Now it's tight. Check the cocking. Smooth. And then install the spring. Okay, make sure that you lubricate the spring guide. And lubrication, just a little bit. Okay, and then pull. Before you install the spring, I'm sorry, I missed one step. Pull this nozzle and spray a little bit of silicone oil into the rubber, just a little bit. Okay, and then you can install the cover. To install the cover, you can put the gun on your lap, because it will be difficult if you do it on the table like this. I have someone to help me holding the gun, just on the purpose for this video. But the best way is to put it in your lap. Okay. like so. And now the gas tube and the top handguard. On the real steel, you may find this handguard really hard to remove. So we modify this design a little bit. So in order to install the wood stock, you need to slide the front cap here to the front. It is not easy to move it, so you will need a hammer. So just hammer it. So when you buy the gun, this cap is already on the front because it makes you easier to install the wood stock after, or another stock, any real steel stocks that you want to install. So put it like this, align it. Okay, just align it, put this in, and then hammer this like that. Okay, it's actually quite easy. That's all. Once you're done, put it back here. Put the front first, and then put this inside, and then lock it. Okay. Thank you for watching the video, and if you have any question, please feel free to contact us from the YouTube channel, or you can also contact us from our Facebook page. Thank you.